Greetings, everyone. It's Primal Sun with the Primal Sun Foundation, and we're going to continue to talk about the polarities and how we can start to understand this primordial blueprint. Now, we touched upon the relationship between the Buddha and the earth, or the medicine man, and how these kind of play with one another, where they're sort of extreme opposites in a way, and they're different views or different approaches to life, but how they all may benefit all of life. And so that's why this blueprint exists, because this is how we can benefit from life. How can we benefit life? How can we take these experiences that don't seem like they should be happening? They seem like they're on extremes, but how can we experience the union? So another polarity we have here is between the fire and the water, or the warrior and the lover. And the warrior is in the west, which is the direction that the sun sets. So it is a sign of death. It is a sign of transformation. It is a sign of the ending. And then we have the lover, which is the water, and the water from the east. The east is where the sun rises, so this is the rising sun. This is where life comes. This is where spring comes. This is where a new dawn comes, right? So we automatically already have this polarity, because we have these two extremes per se, but we also already know the relationship between fire and water, and they are polarities, but they also can meet and create steam, which is actually the transcendence of the denser matter, because it becomes a gas in a way, and that evaporates and carries into a lighter space, the same way smoke travels, right? So it's not something you can grab, so it represents a lighter form that has come from the two. And so now, between the warrior and the lover, now the warrior is all about transcendence, transformation, killing the ego, or death to the ego, death to that that part of ourselves that is not serving a greater mission. Now, the same way that a warrior or a knight is in service to his king is what we're talking about here. Is not only to an external mission, but to the like being willing to die, not being afraid of death, not being afraid of your literal self dying, so you can be born into a greater mission, so you can serve something greater. Now, we're not saying you have to serve someone else. Ultimately, we're serving ourselves and God and the Creator, or whatever name or belief you have. But there is something greater happening here that we have been put on here for. And so the warrior acknowledges that, and so is not afraid of the little challenges that try to, tickle his ego, basically. And so there's a deep transformation that's happening in that sense. And what's interesting is that this whole map is actually in it putting your little self into a greater self. So we're grabbing that little self and not just slaying him off, but we're bringing him into a greater space where he can be more realized. So each archetype can be seen as just one aspect or one little self, but we're bringing all that together. The reason we're bringing polarities together, we're bringing this blueprint together, so that they can all meet for a greater mission. Now, with the lover, right, the lover is the water, so this is the realm of communication. This is the realm of relationships, right? Obviously, with the lover, we think of romantic relationships. Really, you're a lover of life, but also romantic relationships are a big part, because this is where life comes from again, right? This is the way a child is born, through romantic relationship, and procreation is born through, husband and wife, or life partners that seek to fulfill the next generation of souls on this planet. So there's a great respect and a great role there as far as procreating life, because you are now responsible for the next generation. And in this world right now, many are not responsible for that, even if they do have children, they're not responsible for raising the highest conscious beings on this planet. So if you are on that path of having a child or have a child that's being born, understand that your role is that they're going to go beyond you, and your role is to give them everything that you know, and don't expect them to stop there. They're meant to go beyond so that they can carry, our prayers into their experience and allow for that to unfold for the collective harmony of the planet. And that's what we can do here now. So again, these polarities, although they seem so extreme, they're actually the answer, because especially in a relationship, communication is so important. Honesty is probably the most important. And we have all these walls built up within ourselves where we're not honest with ourselves. So I'm not saying this is a relationship now. This is a relationship with yourself, and how it may actually bring harmony in your relationships in that way. But ultimately, this is with yourself first. So being honest and communicative. Now, this is also water. So this is gentleness. This is compassion. We see the power of water, the healing, the clarity, the cleansing that water brings. It is the first medicine. All medicines are made from this medicine. All herbs need water to even extract that medicine. So if we look deeper into water, then we'll start to understand the motherly instinct, the gentleness, the compassion. This animal is also, the animal here is the deer also, because it represents that feminine force of tenderness and care. Now that's what we have on the lover side. Now if we come to the warrior side, we have fire, which is really an extreme element, in the sense of, right, you play with fire, you could get burned. If you do not know fire, then fire will really take over. If you're not a caretaker or a guardian of fire, if you don't know those fire rituals or those rites, then you can burn down a whole forest and then not be your intention. Your intention may be just to have a little fire to warm up, but it could become disastrous if you do not know this. So again, this is why, and this is also the inner, the external is teaching us about the internal. So we have this internal fire, this internal spirit, but if we do not really fully understand how we can contain it, then we actually can hurt a lot of people in our lives. See, because the warrior is the one that goes into the battle, the one that goes into the fight, the one that sees a goal, sets his eyes on it, and goes, no matter if there's danger on that way, no matter if there's anything that may try to stop him. That is the extreme commitment, the dedication, the discipline of a warrior. So again, we have here, right, we have extreme discipline, we have determination, relentless momentum, and then we have gentleness, compassion, softness, nurturing, right? This is basically like extreme workout and a rest day, but you need both. Or you need to, this is action and no action. Same thing here. The medicine man is all about action, all about doing something. And the Buddha's like, I'm not doing anything. Right? So we see that there is action and no action. But ultimately, in order for something to come through to you, you have to be within the center and the still place you're being. And that's why the Buddha, again, is so important. And that's why the shaman is so important, because when we reach a place of no action, then we realize the action that we do have to take. And when we heal ourselves, then we can move stronger into the next mission. If we cannot go wounded into battle, so we need to heal ourselves. And that's what the water and the love is all about, the realm of healing. The water is all about the realm of action, transformation. Hi, baby. Minga. Thank you so much. Problem Son and the Problem Son Foundation.
All right.